Here's another important video from the Personal Defense Network. When we talk about contact shooting, we're not just talking about shooting while we're in contact with the person that we need to shoot. So we looked at what would happen if we were in contact with someone we needed to control, or we were trying to keep out of the harm's way, maybe a wife or a bystander, or someone we were trying to control because they were trying to hurt us, and then we had to shoot off to the side or even shoot behind us to defend ourselves in some other situation. Of course, that could also happen when we're on the ground. Another way to think about shooting while in contact is going to be thinking about whether or not you would be in a crowd. What if you were in a crowd, maybe an active shooter response, or you were in a public environment when someone attacked you or attacked your family and you wanted to defend yourself, understanding that you might need to be stopping that person from bumping into you who has no threat whatsoever towards you. The person's not trying to hurt you, they're just trying to get away from the person behind them that's trying to shoot you or them or anybody that they can. And as they run by you, understanding that they're going to bump into you and affect your ability to shoot, or maybe it's just that crowd pressure from either side. All of those things are going on. So if you're fighting and straining against someone who's in contact with you or bumping into you, you need to have that much more deviation control as much as you can. You might be able to use two hands and just get bounced around a little bit. You might take one hand off the gun and decide you're better off trying to control those people who are bumping into you as you extend, touch, press, and engage your threat. Let's take a look at this drill. This drill is our shove and shoot drill, and the shove and shoot drill we do is you're shooting, your training partner is shoving you around. Now, it's important to understand the safety controls. So everybody take a look here at what John and I are going to do. If John's here on the line, as he gets ready to shoot, I'm not going to literally shove him. I'm not going to push him to where he might go in front of someone else's muzzle or fall down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use hip and shoulder control to move him around but not let go. So I'm going to stay in constant contact so that if he were to, say, trip on this rubber mat and start falling forward, I could grab him and pull him back. So if someone has a duty belt or body armor, this is a great way to hold on to them. If not, if they're just a self-defense person who's interested in training this technique, that's fine, that's great too. We want to make sure we just keep control of them, whether by their belt, by their shirt, by putting our hands in front of the shoulders as we push and pull around. We move sideways, we move back and forth, but we're always in contact. We're not pulling and letting go or pushing and letting go. Everybody understand that from a safety standpoint? Okay. Want everybody to get in front of the targets? Every other person, starting with Peter, just take a step back. So Peter's going to step back, Mike step back, and stand behind your training partner. Okay, your training partner, when we start this drill, we're going to go to the high compressed ready. So go ahead and go to the high compressed ready. The range is hot. On the command up, you're going to fire 2 to 3 rounds into the area that you believe is going to be combat accurate on your target. Okay, the target in front of you will represent a threat from the moment I say up. After you fire your 2 to 3 rounds, you'll visualize that threat stopping, and then you'll come back into the high compressed ready. What I want you to understand is what your training partner is going to do is move you around. Now, I want the guys to start out on this first round at about 10% of the energy that you think is appropriate. And then we're going to go to 30%, 50%, 80%, and then we're going to go up eventually, once we get comfortable with the concept of the drill, to the maximum safe level that you can move them around. The people up front need to understand that based on that interference, your balance of speed and precision is going to change. You may be firing very, very slowly with a lot of external cognitive deviation control. When you're being moved around a lot, you may fire very, very quickly when you're only getting 10% of that maximum safe energy. Everyone clear? Stand by for your command to fire. Up! Okay. Remember, you're responsible for your hits. You want to get good combat accurate hits on your target. Integrate lateral movement. If someone's coming towards you, you're going to laterally move out of their way. So integrate your lateral movement into this drill. 2 to 3 shots. Training partners, start moving it up a little bit. As the comfort level increases, you increase the amount of energy. Up! Switch. Front row holster. Second row move up. Same thing. Now, the normal human behavior is you just finished at a high level of energy. Make sure you remember to go back to that 10% level. Start out slow. Don't start them out at the same level of energy that you just finished at. Everyone's clear? Go to the high compressed ready position. Stand by for your commands to fire. You should be on new targets. Make sure everybody's on a new target. Up! And remember, by integrating your lateral movement, you're naturally going to get into that compressed, lowered center of gravity combative position. So if you're standing up perfectly straight, your shots aren't going to be as controlled as if you get into that good, combat efficient, natural, neutral stance. Up! Much better. So you took your group size and cut it down to 20% of what it was just by stooping a little bit and getting into that natural position and really resisting with good body balance and good position. Now up the ante, move a little harder. Up! 2 or 3 shots per presentation. Remember, mix it up. Don't shoot a pattern. Up! During the reload, keep up the energy. Pull that gun in for retention. Rack the slide, decock, or shoot. Excellent. Now what I want you to do is let's go to the place where this person really is clinging to you. Let's say that this person is really scared of the threat, as they should be, and they're clinging to you. They're trying to get you to help them. They don't understand they're interfering with your ability to address the threat with the appropriate lethal response. So what I want you to do is just cant your body, use your offhand to try to grab them back and control them. All right, you're certainly going to keep your firearm oriented towards the threat. You're going to extend with one arm, use balance, speed, and precision principles to control your deviation. Make sure that you're getting combat accurate hits, but I want you to do it one-handed. You're probably going to find this is a little easier to put some force back into that threat while you're extending and shooting. Up! Make sure you're slowing down the pace of your shooting. Without slowing down the pace of your shooting, you won't be able to compensate for the one-handed need for control. Up! Good. And now holster. And finally, that'll be the last growth point for this particular drill. This will be the last evolution, where now you're going to start with your hands off of your training partner. Your training partner is going to do lateral movement and reach to present from the holster. As they're presenting from the holster, you'll make contact and you'll start affecting their ability to smoothly shoot. Everyone clear? Clear. Stand by. Up! Keep it up during the reload. Keep the motion up during the reload. I want to try to maintain consistency. Holster. Go ahead and switch positions. The first group is now going to go to the high compressed ready and do it one-handed. Understanding the importance of mixing up your drills, making them as realistic as possible, and making sure that everyone gets a chance to do it is obviously very important when you're on a training range. Contact shooting is not just about shooting the person you're in contact with. It might mean compensating for other forms of contact when you need to address a separate lethal threat. Check out more videos just like this one at the Personal Defense Network.